Everybody, Scout Crafter here again. It's Wednesday. Can you believe I raked yesterday? Can you believe that? But the leaves are coming down, but they're still up there, so it's no sense in raking every day. Just wait till they all come down. Got a lot to talk about. The Batmobile versus James Bond car. Well, I got to tell you, it wasn't even close. I guess most of you preferred the James Bond car. So let's go upstairs in the attic and talk some more about it. If you missed last video, basically what I did is I asked everybody to choose if they could have one car, either the Batmobile or the James Bond Aston Martin DB5, which would they choose? And overwhelmingly, the subscribers went with the Aston Martin. And I could see why, because, you know, it's, as an adult, you know, it's hard to drive around a Batmobile to be taken seriously. When I was a kid, I was big into James Bond. I used to collect James Bond. I'm up in the attic. Let's see if we can't find some of those things I collected. We're up here, and you can see it's everything's kind of packed away up here, and you could see, you know, it's a lot of stuff. But I believe I have my James Bond. If you look over here, there's a trunk right there, and I believe that my stuff is in there. So let's see if we can dig it out. Okay, I dug it out of the little spot it was in, and you can see here the dust that's on there. Obviously, this hasn't been, there's been boxes on top of it. Hasn't been moved in years. And just to show you, this is going to be an unboxing. I haven't been in this trunk in years. And this was the trunk I used to bring to Boy Scout camp. We used to go to Boy Scout camp. Okay, you ready? Now, let's see what we got in here. Wow, look at this, huh? It's a treasure. Remember they had the false wood in these old things? Sorry about that. I don't have my tripod up here, but this is my James Bond trunk. Look at this, huh? Remember Oddjob? He's got no pants on. Anyway, Oddjob used to throw his hat. It's spring. You see this? You push something on the back or something, and he would throw his hat. And here's the James Bond. Look, a James Bond pillowcase, right? 007 pillowcase. Some James Bond records. And I was big into it when I was a kid. Oh, look at this. Remember this? Who remembers this? You open this up and it was a gun. Let me see. You push that button. Yeah, you see that? You push that button and the radio turns into a... Mattel made this, I think. And, yeah. Got that. And remember Corgi used to make the cars. I got the James Bond Viewmaster. Look at this, an old James Bond Aston Martin vehicle. This one here's got, it's sheet metal, and I guess it does all this, you know, has the ejector seat and everything. Some of the Corgi cars, James Bond lunchbox. Boy, it's been years since I've been in here. That's something else, huh? It's like a little time machine. Yep, the Viewmaster. Remember Viewmasters? Corgi, they always made great cars. You know, my friends over there in the UK know about that. But here's some of the cool vehicles they had. Old James Bond cars. Some were in the 70s, because, you know, I collected all the way up to there. James Bond lunchbox. Oh, no. Bond XS. XX. That's a knockoff. Let's see. Oh, yeah, look at this. All kinds of cool gadgets. This thing opened up into some. Here's a pipe that was a gun. Here's a hat for Oddjob. The playing cards for James Bond. There it is. This is the one everybody likes, right? The Corgi James Bond car. These things, you know. And here's another Corgi James Bond. But this one here, look at this. Remember this? Remember Moonraker? Yeah, that was a cool one. But what I want to show you, I guess, which is pretty cool, is this attaché case. Let me pull this out and go to the other table. Here's a Corgi Junior, you know, but it was a small thing, and the DB5. But who didn't love this feature? Who didn't love this feature here where you, let's see if it's sticking. There was a little red knob here that if you push, yeah, there you go. The ejector seat would eject the passenger. Who didn't wish they had that every so often? 007 code sender. But who remembers this? Who remembers the bobsled? Remember the bobsled? I'm trying to think what movie that was from. You remember that when they had that big bobsled race, and this is a corgi car. That's okay, cool. I figured this out. You know what this is? This is why we grew up all screwed up in the 60s. This was a Man from U.N.C.L.E. It looked like a cigarette case with a lighter, but it really wasn't a lighter. It was a gun, you see? And when you opened this up, it looked like a regular cigarette case, right? But aha! Underneath the cigarettes was a, well, the radio knob came, but it was a radio. Back in the 60s, this is what we liked. It was a James Bond 100-shot cap pistol. That don't even look like James Bond, right? That Sean Connery, that looks like a knockoff. But look at this. Here it is. It's half metal, die-cast metal. Has plastic, but actually it's pretty nice. And it still works, but you need the caps, you know. Caps are a big thing. Remember cap okay, guns? So these were the trading cards, and apparently the trading cards had just still shots of the movies, different parts of the movies that you saw. And these must have came out pretty early because I didn't see any, obviously, of the later movies, but you could see some screenshots in there. And what's cool is on the back of all these pictures of the cards, like this picture of James Bond, when you flip it over, it would say, you know, James Bond. It would tell you a story about him. Same thing over here. We have the Aston Martin. Flip it over. Tells you about the Aston Martin. You know, and each screenshot would tell about, you know, what you're looking at. So pretty cool trading cards back then. Okay, again, I apologize for the lack of a tripod up here, but I want to show you this. This here was put out by Sears. Sears used to put out a ton of stuff. And this was the Super Spy Attaché case. What's so interesting about this, you can see all the things that it does and all the cool graphics on the box art of all the things you could do here. I actually thought me and my buddy, when we were in like 6th grade, we thought we were secret agents. And I had this, and let me show you what this is. I actually brought this to school a couple times. Now on the outside, it might look like a standard attaché case, but there was a few features that this thing had. And one of them is, I know that when you now I haven't read the instructions in years, but I know that you had to do something before you opened it, or else they had a cap gun that would explode. So it was kind of like, you know, From Russia with Love, when if you didn't turn the latches the right way. So let's open this up here and see what we got inside. Look at that. How pretty is that? Now let me show you all the cool things. I had a camera, a film camera here. See, you loaded it with film. And I mean, this is a cool thing. Here was the shutter release, you know, so you could take pictures. It had a telescope. It had a radio, a working radio. This is no joke. This had a real radio that you could send Morse code and things like that. Had compartments that had different, you know, the batteries to operate everything. Different compartments. Had a notepad that you could take. Here it was. See this? When you put this on, if you lifted, this was a little pressure toggle switch. If you opened that up, then this thing would buzz. That's what it was. It would buzz. It would make a loud noise. So, here's some, of course, my James Bond photograph. I haven't, like I said, I haven't been here in a long time, but there was all kinds of cool stuff. Here it gave you wallets, because this was 0711. Not to take off on the 007, but in here, these were your little wallets you had, and there was like fake currency, and then I guess like a passport. Yeah, passport. Again, you know, you use your imagination. You give one of these to your friends. You were secret agents. But what was really cool, which actually we used to use, was this code. We used to send code to each other, and you could send it on what kind of code you wanted. Over here, you choose the code, and then over here was your letters. You know, so if you wanted, you know, to say R, you would send this letter, and they would know what code you would be on. And everybody would get their own code sender. I think they were extra. Yeah, here are the extra code senders. So there was the master that you had, but you would give your friends those cryptographs, and you know, so you'd say, we're going to use code number 3 today. And then you would just do that. Come on, tell me this isn't cool. For a kid, this was great. You would advance the film when you took a picture, and you could send code. I don't know. I still got a kick out of this. On the outside of the case had a little mirror that you could send Morse code to a signal light, but if you just lifted this up like this, it would move the mirror out of the way, and there was a light bulb here. And then using this switch here, you could send Morse code via light, or you can use, also you could send it via the radio. So, Yeah, and there was the telescope. This was a telescope here that you could use. Here's the bottom of the attaché case. You could see the actual telescope. It was a working telescope. And you could see here upside down, but it says made in Japan. So this was made in Japan back in probably the late 60s, early 70s. Okay, so let's head downstairs. You know, this whole thing's about gadgets. You know, James Bond was a big gadget guy, so let's go downstairs and show you my newest gadget. Down the basement, talk about gadgets. Last weekend I was on the, looking at the videos, and my good friend Randy Richard from California. Randy, he does all kinds of videos, and you've seen him before, I'm sure, and if not, you should subscribe. Great guy. Anyway, Randy was doing a review because a lot of companies send him tools and things like that to review, and he was doing, I always wanted a bore scope, but I like simple things, you know. I don't want things that go into your phone. You got to download an app and all this. I just want a plug and play. I want it simple. And sure enough, he showed this thing. I'll put the link in the description to his video. This great board. Check it out. Okay, this is it. Actually, it's called an endoscope, but we all know them as kind of bore scope. Same difference, but here it is. It comes in a nice case, right? Hard shell case. And again, I'm not going to do a review. I just, because Randy did such a good review on what this does. But in the case, and what I like so much about this is, comes with a simple user manual that you don't really even have to look through. Comes with the cable, which I believe is like a fiber optic. And it has the charging cord, and in this little case here, it has both a hook and a magnet that can go on the end of this, that if you have to retrieve something. And on this side here is the actual camera. And again, I didn't even take the plastic off the screen just to show you how simple this is to use. The only thing you do is when you get it, you charge it up, and that's it. And you plug this in, and let me show you the cool things you could do with it. Okay, let me show you how simple this thing is. And what you do is you take the basic camera here, the cord, you press it into here, and you push it down, and it locks. There you go. It's locked in there. Then you just hold the button down until it turns on. And there we go, digital inspection camera, and it's ready to go. The light comes on the end of this wand here, and you can see here that if I wanted to film, I'm just pointing this at over here, and I'll hold this up so you get a good view of what it looks like. 1080 resolution, and how great is this, you know? And you could look all different spaces. You drop something or whatever, and what's so cool about this, it has dual cameras. Now this is you're looking at the camera from the front. If I push this button here like this, it goes to the side camera. So you can see, there I am, side camera. How cool is this? I mean, this is just so interesting. And let me show you some of the things you could do with this. Now, the first cool thing that you can do with this, and again, I'm talking into the little probe, but let's say, you know how sometimes you got something like you say, man, did I get bit in the back of my neck, and you try and hold up two mirrors, you can't see or something? You just take this probe, hold it onto the back of your neck like this, and you could see here, and again, I'm using the camera like this, but you could say, wow, is that a bite in the back of my neck or whatever? It has 1.5 inches focal length. You can see all kinds of stuff. So that's one thing that's really cool. Now, as you know, one of my hobbies, I collect lanterns, things like that. And a lot of times you don't know what the inside looks like. You try and look in with a flashlight, you can't really tell. What makes something like this so beautiful is you turn this on, and you could take this and look inside of whatever. And I'm going to show you here real time. I'm going to put this over here and let you see what it looks like. Here we are looking in there. And look at that. I could see exactly what it looks like all the way around. Take it down to the bottom. You can see here. Look at that. I can look at all the I'm looking at the edges now to see if there's any. And it looks really clean inside, right? But how great is that? I mean, I could check it out. And what also nice, if you have a T, an intersection, like say I want to look at the spout, I just hit this little nozzle here, and now I'm looking at the side. So here, I'm looking at the nozzle from the bottom. You can't do that with other cameras, you know? How cool is that? And you can bend this wand to make it look better. And I mean, that is just fantastic. You could look at the side welds and see, and if you want to see if there's a leak, you just hold the flat, you put it on dark. You see there's a light here. I'm going to shut the light. First, let me put it back here. I would put this light down to 0. Now there's no light at the end of this, and I would hold the flashlight under here and see if there's any pinholes coming through, and you would be able to pick that up 1, 2, 3 with the camera. Just a fantastic, there's so many things you could use. I could spend a long time talking about that thing and all the things that I've been looking under benches. I've been finding stuff that was lost. I can't tell you how long ago. It's paid for itself already. I'm just having a ball with it. Again, if you're interested, it runs around $90 and shipped to the door. Go check out Randy's video. I'll have the description in the link in the description. And thanks so much, Randy, for letting me know about it. And it's just a great little tool. And anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great day. Take care now. You know, I like coming up here and stuff, but sometimes it's a little spooky. I don't know what it is. You know, sometimes it just gets you a little bit, I got a weird feeling. Tommy, what's up? Yeah, you still need that colonoscopy.